92? 92 of Adventurers Wanted! Yay! We are 92 hours into a 100-hour story. Now, I know you're coming in at the 92nd hour, so you'll be quite frankly confused. We will do our best to explain what is going on and give you insight into what is happening, but if at any point during the show you feel like you don't know what's happening, please feel free to ask. We are very happy to answer questions live from the table. Don't be shy. In fact, let's test you all. Can you give me a nice panto ooh on 3? 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Lovely. Use that tone of voice to go, what's going on? And we'll be perfectly fine. Yes, I will come to that in a minute because I don't want to spend too much time trying to recap 91 hours of D&D. Good. We also have a relaxed attitude from sound and movement in the audience from yourselves. That is to benefit those who could not be still and silent for the entirety of an hour of theatre. However, we are not a relaxed performance because we have Wilhelm in the back making sound effects. So you will get some occasional loud noises from there, our voices over the microphones, and some music. But apart from that, nothing too shocking, I hope. The lighting will stay exactly the same. We don't move from these spots, really. We just sit and talk, don't we?
It's all just chat.
It's all just chat. It's all just chat. If you need to leave the room for any reason, no problem at all. The doors to your left are the way out. There is a foyer space where Sweet Company members wearing black or red T-shirts with the Sweet logo across the front will be able to assist you with anything you need. They will also allow you back in if you'd like to pop out for 5 minutes, pop back in, and that's totally fine. But you will need one of them as it's a key fob system on the door. If you need assistance in the room, our stage manager Nemo is right there. That's them waving. If you need anything in the room, do grab them or give them a wave or just catch their eye. That should be fine. And they'll be able to assist you in the room. Right. So, we're playing Dungeons & Dragons. Is everyone here basically au fait with Dungeons & Dragons? Yep. A room full of nodding people? Oh, there's a newcomer here. Did your boyfriend drag you here? That's totally fair.
That's true love.
That is true love. If he asks you to join in a campaign, that's true love, but we'll get to that. For those who aren't sure, allow me to explain a little. The 4 people to my left and right play characters, fantasy characters, in a shared fantasy universe. I play the rest of the fantasy universe, so everything they encounter, the horrible industrial grinding machines they try and break down, the heart-wrenching moments with 7-year-old girls. They're doing all of them. That happens in this hour. That's all happening. I'll play everything else that happens. So I'll be doing quite a lot of different voices and stuff like that, basically. To make sure that there is some semblance of rules and some semblance that all of this can kind of construct together, we use character sheets, which they have in front of them, which give them abilities. 9 times out of 10, they're rolling a 20-sided dice, one of these, and adding a number to it off their sheet. Anything nearing a 1 is terrible. Anything above and including a 20 is amazing. Please feel free to cheer and or boo, depending on how you feel about the character in question. Or if it's me rolling, please do boo. I'm obviously the villain of the piece. That's totally fair. Right, apart from that, I think that's basically it. Before I dive into trying to explain 91 hours of D&D that includes time travel, let's go around the table and meet all the characters first. So starting on my right, can you please give your name, your pronouns, your character's name, their pronouns, and a bit about what they look like, what they're up to, where they're at. For example, I'm the Dungeon Master, my name is Chris, and I use he, him pronouns.
My name is Catherine, I use she, her pronouns, as does my character, who is called Dottie Hathfire.
Yeah, she does voices.
I'm just really into D&D, okay? Dottie is a dragonbone, which means she's like a little walking dragon, little being 7 to 8 foot. She decided to help out because she wants to help her community, in which she runs a tavern and does embroidery and home baking and looks after about 50 orphans. However, she is now inside a clock thing.
You can let me explain that bit if you want. I mean, it's really
holding the hand of a robot who she's promised to never leave. Yes.
That is actually not a fair assessment of where we are.
That's my life.
I am Tyrone. I use he, him pronouns. My character is Kawhi, also uses he, him pronouns. Kawhi is a dark-skinned dwarven barbarian. Kawhi is basically covered in hair. Part of it is just the whole like dwarven beard. Part of it is like he's not wearing any clothes. Basically, just hair is growing there. It's dirty. It's messy.
Please tell me he's wearing trousers.
He's wearing trousers. He's at least wearing trousers. But like he is basically very proud of the hair and how much he's able to have it grow. It is dirty, but it's fine. It doesn't actually smell that bad considering how dirty it is, but he's making it work.
I spray him with lavender.
I mean, you're not together at the moment, so...
I retcon my sprayed him with lavender. When I met him, I was like...
There was lavender in the tea and it was lovely, and that kind of helped with the smell.
Okay.
Neutralise the odour, you know. Lovely.
Isla, please, save me.
I'm Isla. She, her pronouns. My character is Kimmy. She also uses she, her. She is a halfling monk, a little kind of hobbit person who's really good at jumping about and hitting things. But that's not her main passion. Her main passion is calligraphy. And that's why she became a monk, was for this quiet monk life, drawing letters. But somehow has got dragged into a lot of fighting.
It's a D&D game, that's what happens.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm playing Katsel, who is she, her, as am I. Katsel is a dwarven barbarian. She really likes hitting things, and she's generally quite happy. She's currently on top of a mining machine, trying to destroy it. And yesterday she met herself in the past.
Yep. Right. 91 hours of D&D condensed into about a sentence. Let's see what I can do. So, the players to my left and right are all playing members of a rebellion. This rebellion rebelled against a cult. The cult enslaved them in their homeworld and got them to mine ore out of the ground. So far, so good. They pushed this cult back out of their world into a portal. The cult clearly exists in multiple dimensions. Some of the rebellion felt the cult would probably come back if they didn't do something about it, so they followed them in these portals through multiple dimensions, which travelled through multiple planes of existence, including Arthur's Seat, and managed to push them right back to a space called the Nexus. The Nexus is largely clockwork. We're talking clockwork walls, floors, ceilings, all ticking, moving slightly, constant sense of like slowly moving inside of clock. However, at this point, another cult, a good cult, they're in yellow, is trying to purify the central crystal piece of this nexus, which is sort of part crystal, part horrible magical ore, which is also the same ore they were mining out of the ground earlier. The ore appears to travel through dimensions. They are trying to purify this crystal, in doing so allowing them the ability to use these portals to travel through space and time and defeat the cult. However, the green cult, the evil cult, have now managed to enter the Nexus with a gigantic machine that 3 of our characters are currently trying to smash to pieces, and with their leader, a big floating eye thing. And they are now smashing their way through the Nexus to the point where the other cult are trying to purify the crystal. It's a bit of a race against time. Are we okay so far? Sounds totally normal and reasonable. Thank you from the audience. I like your style.
I disagree.
So,
Let's ruddy go.
Dottie, you are currently holding the hand of a 7-foot copper robot. This robot is attached to machinery. This machinery is attached to the crystal. You and the other yellow-robed cultists are now all almost in supplication, reaching out and pressing flesh with the copper robot. The machinery around it is twisting slowly. It has just been set into motion. And at this point, holding on to the robot's hand, you realise this robot holds the souls of about 20 people, including a 7-year-old girl and a cat. This copper suit is a focus. It will draw in the souls of everything around it and use those souls and the energy from it to try and interact with this crystal on a higher plane of existence. So far so good? Yeah, we all still okay, good.
My soul.
Your soul! The 7-year-old girl is terrified, but knows that this is the right thing to do. The remaining cult members, her parents and others, are giving their essence, their soul, to allow this to happen, and you can feel around you as some of them start to slump against the creature, the soul passing out of their body and into the robotic body in front of them. No. Their energy, their essence, powering this ticking machine next to the crystal, which is slowly starting to tick faster and faster and faster. You feel a strange tug in your chest.
No, not like this. Not Dottie. No.
You feel that you could possibly help this moment happen faster, because they're still in the very early stages of this ritual. Or you could hang on to yourself, hold back, and instead try and assist from the outside. It is your call. I'm not going to force anything on you.
I'm sorry, but I need to stay in our body to help our community once we've saved it. So I'll still help you, but I'm not giving up my soul.
The small girl's voice, who tends to be in charge of the robot, arguably because she is the least argumentative out of all of them. You hear her voice in your head say, "That's okay.
If I give up my soul, I can't hold your hand, so I'll stay."
You don't need to explain.
Oh
You
gosh,
are
I
not-
feel like she's just gonna say, "I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed."
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. You're not part of this cult. You
I'm very much not.
you don't know what they've sacrificed to be here. This is everything they wanted. If you can just help me, just hold my hand, I'll help them.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yes, okay.
Cool.
I have 50 orphans to look after.
You are helping this moment, but I'm not going to force any rolls on you yet. The three of you, in the meantime, there is a gigantic mining machine digging its way through this clockwork area around you, grinding almost like a mole through dirt. It's a very metal dirt. Grinding its way around and up, trying to make its way through to this Nexus room, and you are all on the outside trying to smash your way in. Kimmy, you had used your quarterstaff and your very, very sharp elbows to try and smash a horrible tank of green liquid you managed to prise the armour away from on the underneath of this creature. You're bashing away at it. As you do so, cultists around you are scrabbling around, trying to grab onto you and trying to get you off their powerful war machine, which is going to be used to strip mine your hometown if it makes its way through back to the crystal. Can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
That is a 22.
High enough. And another?
That one is a 17.
And one more.
And that one is a
21.
Thank you.
Three cultists grab hold of you. You're small, you are lithe. You manage to swing out of the way of one as he grabs and falls. And as he falls beneath you, I mean, barely 10 feet below you is the ground, is this sort of floor of crushed gears that its machine is just grinding over. And to either side are these horrible treaded wheels. One falls, lands, another one tries to grab at you, grabs a hold of your arm, and you swing out of the way and swing them, throwing them slightly to the side. That slightly to the side, unfortunately, puts them in the path of one of these treads and just...
Oh.
Thanks, Chloe, that was
Very
awful.
Thanks, Thanks, I hate it.
And another one swings out towards you and tries to hit you and stop you from doing what you're doing, but again just falls to the ground. This time it's still in between the 2 feet. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
Clearly this tank is quite important, so I'm going to keep smashing it.
There is a crack forming under you. You've seen what the spray does if it... Yeah, it's not nice. It's horrible liquid. It's not good.
I'm going to smash it and then try and jump out of the way. See if it smashes first. 10.
Your quarterstaff bounces off the toughened glass underneath here.
That is a 13.
13. Again, your quarterstaff bounces off your elbow, your
Elbows.
last weapon left.
Flurry of blows.
Oh, you have 2 strikes. Monks can do more attacks if they want to take some of their energy.
Still 12.
You're flailing away at this thing.
Oh,
Come on.
okay, that's a bit better. 17. Still not enough?
Yes,
Oh,
You smash away at this glass, but it's not doing anything. You're just
Yeah.
pounding away at this glass. As you do, the nozzle that came around the side, looking a bit like a vacuum cleaner head, comes around, realizing, and the operators are realizing what you're doing, and they just try and spray you with the liquid. Make a dexterity saving throw. Oh dear.
16?
Oh no, it's
No?
a DC 20. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
But you take half because it's...
Yeah, I take half.
Yeah, that'll help. You take 9 points of fire damage as your skin starts to burn as this green liquid coats you. And 17 halved, 9 points of acid damage as it burns into you. It will continue to do so, you taking 18 points of damage every round unless you use a turn to scrape it off you, as you are now coated with this liquid. It is burning your skin, and very much like you can see your skin bobbling and pocking ahead of you. This almost like you can see wafts of smoke pouring off you. It is not pleasant. If it starts to do a lot of damage, I will also give you disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. Be very warned.
Yep.
Right, 2 barbarians on top of it. You are smashing away at this thing. You've
Yeah.
taken out some cultists who are helping, who are trying to stop you from doing so.
Are there still cultists?
There are still cultists.
Okay, one swing. So she has a massive warhammer.
Thank you.
One swing at a cultist and one swing at the machine.
Cool, make a swing at the
Both
cultist.
recognized.
Yeah, that's fine.
Natural 20.
Don't bother rolling with damage, it's fine. The cultist, you swing around with your warhammer and smash them against the wall, and your hammer sort of grinds them into the wall. They just... And one strike against the machine. The machine.
22.
That also breaks through the armor again as you're smashing into this machine.
9.
9 points of damage as you again lash out at this mining monstrosity, tearing bits of metal off it. However, the lightning flail you have uncovered, this floating ball metal ball on the end of a chain with sparks of energy around it, is going to swing around and try and hit you again from the inside of the machine. What is your current armor class, please? Yup. It smacks into you.
Try and get over it.
Oh, of course, because you did it recklessly. Nope. It's a natural 1. Good luck for me. You take a lot of damage.
Great.
Sorry. Half because you are raging barbarian. Yes, as I said, rules on the sheet. 9, so 4 points of bludgeoning damage. 18, 19, and 9 points of lightning damage as it sparks through you again, and lightning sparks off all around you.
She's in a rage.
Crikey. Indeed, crikey, indeed. Can you please make me a wisdom saving throw? Yes.
13.
Around you, you can feel time slowing down. You are being slowed down. Everything's happening around you at normal speed, but you now move at half of your normal speed as you are slowed. And from inside the machine, you hear the cackling of the beholder that has time travel magic, trying to stop you from the inside, as more cultists around you, now moving far too fast for you to deal with it quickly, are climbing over the machine and fixing where you've broken it.
Whilst that's going on, then I'm gonna go for the cultists around her.
Smash cultists around her. You
Yeah.
are not. You have to make your way across the top of their machine, grinding its way through gears to reach her. You can do that. It'll be very difficult.
Then I will stay and smash my thing.
You'll smash your things. You are going to be attacked by a cannon.
I'm going straight for the machine, basically.
Straight for the machine.
Right, push away for them.
Okay.
First one is 22,
22. That hits.
and the second one is goodness and reckless. 25.
You strike down with your warhammer twice, trying to smash your way through this cannon in front of you.
Damage on them. One of them is 11 and 10.
You are again smashing your way into this machine. The cannon doesn't appear to be too affected though, and as you stand in front of it, bashing away at it, the cannon mouth roars, explodes, and a cannonball is shot at you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. Advantage.
Yep.
Cool. That is a 19.
That's a DC of 20.
Yep.
I'm sorry. 34 halved, 17 points of damage as the thunderball smashes into you, and the roar of the cannon as it roars, explodes around you, also does damage. 8 halved already, so that's 8 points of damage as it smacks into you. How you looking?
I've had better days, but not.
Okay. I mean, are you under half your hit point count?
I am just not.
Just not. Oh dear, I'm sorry. From inside this thing, you can see that there are various holes and ways to look out of it.
Yeah.
And from inside, you can just barely see the wriggling eye tendril of this beholder as it stares out at you, and a beam of energy comes out of one of the holes directly at you. Make a dexterity saving throw, please.
17.
You dodge out of the way as this ray shoots past you, impacts the wall, and where you look at the wall where it impacted, necrotic energy is just tearing the wall apart. It is being disintegrated right where you were.
Fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Beholders can disintegrate things with their eyes. It's not nice. Good. Lovely. Excellent. Thank you very much. Dottie?
Hello. I'm hard at work over here as well. Don't sleep on Dottie. I'm doing just as important work.
Different kind of work, but still important.
Yeah.
You feel the different cultists around you dropping to their knees, their souls passing through their hands into the copper suit, which is just taking in more and more of the souls of these cultists around it, and is slowly becoming fuller and fuller of this soul energy. You can tell that they're all living inside the suit, much like when it was first constructed. This ritual allows them to become part of it, and they're all giving their bodies, not their lives, they'll still keep living in the suit, but their bodies certainly, to allow this moment to happen. However, what you also realise as this is happening is that all of this energy, all of this force will have to be directed through the suit into the crystal. And it is going to struggle to do it all in one go. Would you like to assist them without losing your own soul? Would you like to assist them with the possibility of losing your own soul?
Without losing my own soul. Please.
Okay. As you reach out, you can use a charisma check of any of your choice. I don't mind.
Performance!
Performance. To inspire, especially the 7-year-old girl, to hold strong and fast and use this energy in this moment to try and make this all work together.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just roll performance.
Yes, please.
17.
What do you say to her to make her feel like this is going to work?
Sing her a little Dragonborn song.
Can we hear it?
I don't think Dragonborns sing to their kid. I sing her a song that Dottie sings to the orphans when she tugs them into bed.
Can we hear it?
Oh, Copper. You really are the top of my estimations. It's all gonna be fine. I can't make any promises, but if I could, I would.
Bless. As you faintly croon out a lullaby to a robot, you can feel the essence of the 7-year-old girl, the essence of this sort of the purest of all the souls within this thing, let's be honest. And some of these goddesses are a bit dodgy. Glows more, and you can feel how you're giving them the strength to carry on. But it's not going to be enough. And around you, other members of the rebellion are starting to reach out as well. They start to reach out and join in, also placing their hands on the creature. Next to you, the elf wizard, who's been one of the leaders of this rebellion, stands up next to you, smiles, and puts her hand on the robot as well, assisting with this moment. And you can feel, as you're holding onto the hand of this robot, how their souls are also passing into this creature and being used to empower this moment. Broussard just looks at you, smiles, and says, "Don't worry, you don't need to do this.
That's good.
We can do it for you."
Good. Lovely.
Right. And she also places her hand on this, slowly just empowering this moment and trying to get this process to work. As they're all doing this, and as the machine starts to grind faster and faster and faster, empowering this moment, trying to get all of these souls into the crystal to assist with this moment, one of the cogs off to one side starts to jam and stick and isn't quite working, and there's no one around to fix it who knows what they're doing.
Copper. gonna have to let go of your hand for a minute to try and fix this cog.
Okay.
I promise I'll be back.
I'm gonna go and try and fix the cog.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Make an intelligence check to see if you can work out how to fix the cog.
On intelligence. That's a 16.
It's jammed slightly where two of the teeth intersect. There's a slight angle and it's jammed. And you could try and reach up and use your athletics to try and prise it apart where the problem
I
is.
will do that. That's a 9.
You are hanging off this machine, dragging desperately, trying to get this to work, trying to make sure that the machine will work. As around you, your allies are falling, holding on to this robot. There's a pile of bodies by the feet of it as their energy is flowing into this creature, trying to use it to purify this crystal and get them all out. You can see as well that some of your allies, instead of standing and helping with this, including Simon, are turning and facing the wall where the horrible grinding, smashing sound, whatever this gigantic thing is getting closer and closer and closer and starting to feel like it might be close to breaking through. Kimmy.
I want to get the acidy, burny stuff off.
Okay. You start to scrape it off you and start to manage to get it off all of your exposed skin. It stops sizzling and burning on you, but that takes your entire action.
Yep, I'm just going to hold them.
Just going to hang on to the machine as you go. Lovely. What are you two doing?
I believe we're smashing.
Still smashing? Smashing in slow motion.
Do I just get one?
Hang on, checking the rules. You can use either an action or a bonus action, not both.
Wait, so I still get two
Regardless of
attacks.
your magical abilities or items, you can't make more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
One attack.
One attack.
Still reckless.
Still reckless.
Do I get to save against this thing?
You did, and you failed.
Oh, never again.
Nope.
23.
23. Your one strike with your hammer comes crashing down into the machine. Yep. Roll the damage on it.
Oh, nice. 18.
18 points of damage as again you smash into the machine, trying desperately to destroy it. You can make a wisdom saving through the end of your turn to try and break this effect.
Nope.
You are still slowed.
Can I hit it now?
It's Beholder's turn first. Again, looking through one of these eye slits it has made for itself inside this machine. It is going to target you with one of its beams. You get disadvantage on dexterity saving throws because you are slowed.
But I also have advantage if I'm in a rage. Is it just normal?
It cancels out. Yeah, you just get a normal dexterity saving throw. But this is a strength saving throw,
Advantage as well.
which you have advantage on because you're raging.
So normal.
Not yet. You good. Roll it. 18. You can feel the ray coming out of the beast powering into you, and it's trying to telekinetically hold you and move you, but despite being slowed, you are still strong, and you manage to hold yourself tense. You are basically restrained by it, but you are not being forced to do anything otherwise.
Now can I hit it?
Yeah.
Yeah, reckless, because that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, the cultists around you are panicking, desperately trying to fix the things that you're smashing.
I don't care what the whole cultist at this stage, so I'm going to go straight for the machine.
Cool.
That was not great, that was a 2-7, so...
14.
Yeah, that was good. Second attack. 24. Second attack.
Lashing out, your first strike skips off the side, but your second impacts this cannon again.
14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. You are grinding into this thing. You can see bits of it are now hanging off, and it is definitely damaged. You're definitely doing damage to this gigantic thing, but it is huge.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take a long time to break it down in this way. And at the same time, the beholder from inside is going to shoot another ray at you.
Yeah.
Please make a wisdom saving throw.
Well, that's not great. And I have no advantage on this one.
You do not.
That is 4.
You are frightened.
Oh no!
You find yourself filled with the incredible fear that this might be your last day as it holds fast against you. Yeah, not great. Not great at all, I'm afraid. But that is where things stand with you two at through 3 at the moment. So to make another athletics check to try and continue fixing this problem.
That's a
9.
A 9.
Any way I could use my one item,
Yep.
my rolling pin, as a leverage.
Do it again.
Ask for help.
That's a 5 before, so that's a 7 athletics. Do I add my attack roll onto that?
If you want to use all of your energy in every last screed of you to try and fix this problem, I will allow it.
Oh, crumbs. I don't know.
Go for it.
Okay, that's 7 plus.
No, make another roll.
I'll make another roll. Great.
Yep.
That's.
You reach in with your rolling pin,
that's a
trying to
2.
use it to snap whatever is wrong here, and your rolling pin, it just cracks and breaks.
That was my great-great-grandmother's. She passed that down through the matrilineal line so that one day we could bake just like her.
And now it is kindling.
I hold it in my hands. Constitution saving throw. I got a 3. I burst into tears.
You kneel before this broken clockwork machinery, not sure what to do, crying your eyes out the shattered remains of your rolling pin, as next to you, spirits are being channeled into this robot, and it is currently stuck, and there's a sort of horrible hissing and whirring as this machinery starts to break down. It looks like all might be lost.
This is a real low point for Dottie Half.
God. I did. What would you like to do, Kimmy?
I'm gonna still keep attacking this tank.
Okay.
No, it hurt me before. This time it's gonna be fine. Right, let's go. No, 10. 15. No, elbows. Flurry of blows.
It's almost like this could be hopeless.
No, 10.
Sometimes the dice are not in your favour.
Please. Okay. 20.
Your final elbow strike as you pummel away relentlessly at this widens the crack. Roll the damage dice on it.
5.
A faint mist starts to spray out of this high pressure tank directly at you. You are standing in front of it. You are currently attacking it and hanging on to it. There is nothing you can do to avoid it. You are again coated with this horrible fiery acid all over you.
Lads, we're not doing well.
Really not.
I voted for 2 people going to die on the pole. I should have voted for 4.
You take... Oh my god. 30 points of damage as you are coated in this mist. You have cracked it. It is going to slowly start losing this and won't be as effective. But you are also, your skin is melting off you.
Great.
You have movement. Would you like to get out of the way of the spray?
Yes, please.
Make a dexterity save if not to fall.
Run away, run away. That is a 17.
You swing out of the ray of the mist now coating you and are now hanging off a different part of the belly of this beast, but is still smoking on your take an action to remove it from you on your next turn.
That went well.
You two are still smashing.
Can I get down the ice slit, the whole thing at all?
I mean, it's barely a foot across.
That's a no then.
Do you have anything you could shove down it?
2 hand axes.
Do you want to shove a hand axe down it? Yes, exactly.
Oh, I've got a javelin. Could.
Please go for it. You can't throw it. You can use it as kind of a poking down, absolutely.
Reckless.
Okay,
I go for one of the eyes.
cool. You're poking blindly in a hole.
That's a natural 20!
You poke blindly in a hole and hear a squeal. Roll the damage on it.
Uh, 13.
13 points of damage. You strike down into this. There's a horrible squeal from inside. like that. I'm sorry to say you've angered it.
Oh, yes, yeah, you're so sorry.
So it was calm before.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Ty, what are you up to? Sorry,
I am
Kawaii.
As I am frightened a little bit, I'm going to be not running away, but moving towards the back of this machine now, and a bit hitting the cultist on my way out, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Striking the
you
cultist and moving away.
scaredly
It's like, nope.
scramble away.
It's like,
Nope. Smashing
Wiggle.
things around beside
Yeah.
you. Make 2 attack rolls against cultists, please.
Wentworth, that's definitely good. That is 26 on the first attack, and then 20 on the second attack.
You smack both those cultists. So few hit points. You just knock them aside, throwing them off the edge. Keep running back towards the back of this thing, and you're trying to make your way away from the thing that scared you because you can't see it. So at this point, you're just scared.
Yeah.
Can I make a save against the slime?
Yes, please do.
Nope.
Still moving at half
Can I
speed.
make it save against frightened?
Yes.
18?
You are no longer frightened.
Good.
Can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
25.
Oh.
A beam lances out of the eye slit and hits you, it impacts you, and you feel a shadow pass before your vision. But then it goes. You are not blinded by the beholder. Make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage, because you are slowed.
But then with advantage because the...
Make a flat dexterity saving throw.
14.
The reason they're looking worried is because this will probably kill it.
I mean, it might not. I've still got a load of hit points.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but this does a lot of damage.
Just look at those dice.
We'll hold a tasteful funeral. A small bouquet and a little buffet. I'll sing another
54 points
song.
of damage as a necrotic beam lances out and hits you in the center of your chest.
Halved?
No.
Everything apart from psychic.
Oh, in which case, yes. Halved. 22. No, 54, 27. Thank you very much from the audience. 27 points of necrotic damage rake through you.
I've only just gone under half health.
Holy
Cool. That's where that's at. You are sitting, kneeling, crying, holding a rolling pin
wet
that's
rolling
broken in front of machinery that is not working. Simon steps up next to you and is starting to try and break this lock, try and move this cog along. You can assist him if you want.
Yes, I want to do that. Yes.
Roll athletics with advantage because Simon is helping.
That is 21.
Yes!
With a crack and a creak, the gears start moving again, and you watch as they wind and twist, and the light glowing from the people and from this robot are all glowing together. As this happens, the wall behind you explodes out in shards of gear and pieces of metal as they blast across the room, as this gigantic, horrific machine smashes its way into this room. A couple of dwarves on the back of it just flailing away, trying to damage it.
Oh no.
As it smashes its way into the room, the beholder floats out of the front of it. There is a corridor down the middle of this thing that it can float up and down. Floats out the front of it, looking out into the room and seeing this all unfolding. The machine is starting to slowly move forward. The beholder is laughing. This moment, it's apotheosis. It is ready for this. As this happens, time appears to stop. As time appears to stop, Copper's voice rings in your head. Thank you for the help. Hopefully the crystal will be pure now. We'll find out soon.
Why has time stopped?
I don't know. I think once the crystal is cleared, or if it is not, it'll start again. We'll have to see.
Righto.
I'm sorry I can't help you anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, even if the crystal's cleared, I can't help you with that. Pointing at the horrific thing smashing its way through.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, no, that's fine. That's comparatively fine. I thought you were about to do something nefarious to me and I was a little alarmed.
No, you've been so helpful I wouldn't do that to you.
Okay, you're not disappointed anymore?
I was never disappointed in you. You have a very pure soul.
Constitution saving throw?
8 plus 11. I'm like, it's nothing compared to my rolling pin.
As this frozen moment unravels, inside the crystal, it has to be purified. And then, as a final act, this horrible machine and the creature that runs it will need to be taken out. But that's for tomorrow's game! And Sunday's game. Thank you ever so much for joining us today, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm alive!
No one died!
No one died! Some surprise there. You got really close. Everyone got really close there, yeah. So, that story will end on Sunday. 2 days left, 8 hours of gameplay. Do join us for any of those if you want to see how it all goes. If you can't join us for whatever reason, i.e. your life and work and other stuff that you do, please feel free to catch us on Twitter at Adventurous250, where we have our stage manager Nemo and our other stage manager Naomi will be live tweeting the entire rest of the adventure and have been this last hour and have been over the entire month. So there's 100 hours of tweets that you can use to follow story. There are also things like GIFs and stuff, so you can, enjoy that. That is all there for you if you so choose. We also stream the entire adventure at twitch.tv/adventurerswanted. That's what the webcam there is for. So you can watch it live online. Isn't that nice? You don't have to pay a $5 to be in the room. You can just sit at home on your computer just having it playing in the background. There is also a Patreon online where we take donations and a donate button on our website. So if you are watching online, do help us out if you can, if you haven't paid to watch. And we understand that there's a line there, but still, it'd be great if you could help us, because we are trying to spread this hobby to as wide an audience as possible and trying to break a bit of the D&D monoculture that tends to exist around, guys in their basements. I think there's no other way to put it. I'm very proud to say we have 3 female players this hour and have had for some hours of this Fringe, and intend to spread the hobby as widely as we possibly can to as many people as possible. With that in mind, if you can join us in the room, if you can join us in the room, it's £5 to sit and watch, also £5 to play, as both Emma and Tyrone did today. You can buy player tickets from the box office out the front. They're harder to find online. They're at sweet venues. I think we're sold out, but there are often returns. So if you fancy popping along, seeing if there's a ticket available, and if not, just watching that hour, that could be something to do as well over the next weekend if you so choose to. Anyway, I've spoken a lot this hour, and I'm starting to lose my voice, and I have one more game to run. So, with that in mind, I've had 4 wonderful players this hour. Please give a round of applause for me. Given up their time to be here and share in our lovely adventure, I'd like to give them all a chance to plug stuff that they do in return, either at home or up at the Fringe or whatever you'd like. Hop ahead.
So this is my last hour playing with adventurers up in Edinburgh, but I do play in Omen, which is our monthly London game, so if you're in London you should come check us out. Also, I'm about to start a live play podcast of Curse of Strahd, so you can follow me on Twitter if you'd like to know more about that. It's at Emma R. Sheard.
Thank you.
I am a sign language interpreter, so if anyone needs any sign language stuff, I interpret this show from 10:30 till 11:30 every day. I've only got 2 left. Because I really enjoyed it, but it's as you can imagine, a improvised show with in
I mean,
sign language.
We're incredibly proud to have Isla with us, and she does a wonderful job BSL interpreting an improvised show. Let's be honest, that's a very difficult thing. And also, frankly, D&D isn't exactly BSL interlocking, so there's quite a few terms just to make up on the spot, and does so with aplomb, as far as I understand. But I don't know. I don't speak BSL. I assume you're doing a grand job. But thank you. It's wonderfully appreciated.
I do performance poetry the rest of the year in Edinburgh. If that's something that you think you like the sound of, go to my Facebook. It's Catherine Wilson Poetry. If that's something you don't think you like the sound of, let me change your mind. I think I'm pretty good.
Hang on. Catherine's a very good poet. I've seen her perform before. Let's just
I'm
outside view. She's very good.
I'm Scottish. We can't talk about having positive. We can't praise ourselves.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Ty, save us from the awkwardness, please.
I'm not going to help with the awkwardness, but I am Tyrone. I'm Tyrone Lewis. I'm also a performance poet as well, but I am based off in London, so I'll be going back down to London tomorrow, actually.
Aww.
But, I'm leaving tomorrow. Yeah.
Fucking what?
This is the thing that's happening. But whilst I will be at Fringe, though, so I've got an open mic night that I'm running, which I'm going to straight after this, and we're doing a slam today where no one has claimed the title of the bad boy of the spoken word scene. And we're going to try and find out today who's going to be the bad boy of spoken word. So we're doing that at the Revolution Bar in about an hour and a half.
Sounds edgy.
It's as edgy as poetry can get.
With that, I think it's a good point to end. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are done for the day. We're back from 10:30 tomorrow morning. And if you can't join us over the weekend, have a lovely Fringe. Thank you for coming. Cheers.